Borderlands 4 is going to be amazing. Now, I should probably make this video after making the rage rate of Borderlands 4 is doomed, but I did want to say I think this game is going to be great. Borderlands 3 and Wonderlands were great games, and I think people forget that Wonderlands exists because less people played Wonderlands, but Gearbox improved a lot of things people complained about in 3 to 4, or to Wonderlands. Like, um, enchants are less powerful than anointments for the most part, while still having some really cool class enchants. And the rerolling's a bit better. Not exactly, it's a bit less. Everything can be anointed. Non-anointed stuff can be anointed, or unenchanted stuff can be enchanted. Quest rewards are generally a lot better, kind of even, but they can be enchanted. Purples are pretty even to BO3, but I feel like kind of more competitive. A lot of playstyles in Wonderlands that weren't in 3, but also some that weren't in 3 that were in Wonderlands, but people expressed what they liked in both sides. And I think what we gotta make sure we say is what we like in Borderlands 4 and what we also dislike, but do it in a positive way. We can't just say, oh, you're trash, this is trash, how could you do this? Because no one's gonna, you're not gonna listen to anyone that just says you suck. They're gonna say, hey, I don't like this, and here's why. Maybe you could do this better. And if we keep doing that, Borderlands 4 will improve even more. But if you liked Borderlands 3 and Wonderlands, or just one or the other, you're going to like Borderlands 4. I think it's kind of obvious they're going to go the same route. We also know they talk about less part variation. I think the Vault Hunters are going to be awesome. We don't know much about them at all, but it does seem hopeful because of everything they've done. I think stuff's going to have better formula. I'm really excited, even though we don't really know much. I think they're gonna have a lot of possibilities with enemies because of the like new robotic mechanical stuff. You can just add parts to an enemy and be like, boom, here's a new guy. Go fight him. I think the guns are gonna be great. They've got more identifiable anointments, it seems. I'm really hoping they take from alternative farming from Wonderlands and put it into Borderlands 4. I pray that it's not just dedicated drops. People also expressed how they wanted more dedicated drops out there. There were a good amount in BL4 or Wonderland, sorry, but they were still kind of low. Not even just because of loot luck, because at max loot luck, it was still kind of low, closer to the BL2 means, but with a lot of part variation, which should hopefully change. And so hopefully do that, but also still bring stuff like the Chaos Chamber of Bunnies, which I've said I like all the time. I think it's an amazing system. So yeah, Borderlands 4 is gonna do great, I think. There's always a chance that they can mess up, but I don't see it happening. They've done great the past two games, not counting New Tales because that's a different kind of game, and they've never been the best at story, but man, that sucked. But it's not the gameplay focus. The story could be absolutely terrible, but as long as the end game and the gameplay is good, the game's gonna do fine because I think they've been building more of an end game player base than before, where Borderlands 1, 2, and TPS was more of the playthrough player base because there wasn't much end game. I know controversial for BL2, but compared to BL3, there's just not as much. And Wonderlands, people say, doesn't have much end game, but Chaos Chambers was a lot if you understood it. That it was random bosses, random enemies. It wasn't the most diverse, but it was still diverse and randomized. It was just the only thing out there that it felt repetitive and felt terrible. Same with like the Chaos of Bunnies. Like it was just because of the part variation that you were constantly going to it. And bunnies by itself weren't amazing because you had to spend time charging up the bunnies and then it would all be in a giant pile you had to sort through, which I hope they can improve for Wonderlands 2 or BL4 type system. But yeah, Borderlands 4 is going to do amazing. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Let's do this. Like and subscribe, please. And don't leave me for the last video of the Rage Bait. Thanks.